आप कैसे जुड़े हैं PW OnlyIAS के साथ?
सर मैंने YouTube पे मॉक इंटरव्यूज देख रही थी सीखने के लिए और फिर आई केम अक्रॉस OnlyIAS और फिर मुझे अच्छा लगा इसलिए।
May I come in, sir?
Please come in, Jayasree.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Please have a seat. Jayasree Pradhan from Darjeeling.
Yes, sir.
Very good. How are you feeling this morning? Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Relax yourself. Put your back
Yes, sir.
like this, yes. And give us a smile. Now, Jayasree, Darjeeling has a very peculiar problem of congestion. What is to be done in your view
Yes, sir.
to address this? Can you be a little louder?
So, with respect to Darjeeling, obviously we have a lot of congestion. So, currently the population in Darjeeling is about 18 lakh people, whereas reports say that the total amount of people is only 10%, that is 10 lakh, that is sustainable. So, given this large congestion problem, sir, I think a couple of things should be done. The first aspect is with respect to tourism, sir. When most of the congestion happens because of unsustainable tourism. So we need to enhance ecotourism, and also we need to impose proper restrictions in place in terms of tourism sector. That is one. Second is when it comes to the buildings, sir. There needs to be proper bylaws and regulations that has to be followed in terms of constructing new buildings. And thirdly, sir, I would like to point to the fact of waste management. That is also an issue which needs to be addressed.
Okay. Now, I was reading somewhere that Egypt is undergoing a very big economic crisis, and to address that, Egypt has decided to rather lease 2 of its cities to some other countries. Which countries they are?
I'm sorry, sir, I'd have to read more upon that.
Yesterday, the WTO ministerial meeting took place in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, sir.
What was, and it was seen that India and China were together on 2 points and whole West was against them. What were those 2 points?
So currently I can recall one, the aspect of the green climate aspect, where I think China and India were together against the carbon taxes that the Western world wants to impose.
Okay,
sir.
that was one.
Yes, sir.
And another?
So the other one I'm unable to recall at the
Food
moment.
security,
Food
subsidies. Okay. Since you are from Darjeeling, have you heard about Pokhara?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So Pokhara is a city in Nepal, sir.
And why was it famous recently?
So recently it was famous because of the Chinese investment in Pokhara, and what the China stated that it was part of Belt and Road Initiative, but Nepal has disposed of those claims. Nepal states that it is not a part of Belt and Road Initiative, that it was simply an investment that was made, sir.
Okay. Okay, and recently, since you are from Darjeeling, can you tell us which country has with which country does India have the largest land border?
So we have the largest land border with Bangladesh, that is 4,096 kilometers, sir.
Followed by?
Followed by China.
Okay. Okay, and can you name 5 top economies of the world?
Yes, sir. So first we have the US, second China, third Germany, fourth Japan, and fifth India, sir.
In your DAF, you have written that you were volunteering at Alternative Law Forum to file a PIL against the illegal eviction of slum dwellers.
Yes, sir.
What is the biggest slum in Asia
So the Dharavi slum, sir.
And what is the news about Dharavi?
So recently Adani has taken the public partnership to that particular slum to develop it, sir.
So all those people will be evicted from there. Yes. How many? What is, I think about 10 million or so. It's a huge population. How do you see that?
So I feel that if it is eviction in terms of development, then that is justified, sir. But what is not justified in terms of eviction is the illegal aspect, which is without due notice. So in this particular case, where notice is given, where the aim of the actual eviction is development, so I think it is absolutely justified in this regard, sir.
All right. G20 Troika, who are the current members?
So current members, I believe, are India, Brazil, and sir, I'm unable to recall the third one. Previously, it was Indonesia, but now there's a third member.
So who should be the third one?
So the upcoming G20
after
president.
Brazil.
Yes, after Brazil.
And that's South Africa.
South Africa, yes, sir.
All right. Recently, there was a meeting of Troika foreign ministers, which is supposed to be a very important meeting. But our EAM could not participate there. Do you know why?
I'm sorry, sir. I'd have to read more upon that.
What is Raisina Dialogue?
So Raisina Dialogue is a dialogue that is conducted by Ministry of External Affairs as well as the Observer Research Foundation, sir. Recently, we had it in India as well.
When did we have it?
So we just had it a few days ago. Yes,
so the Troika meeting coincided with that meeting. Okay, you play classical guitar, and then with a hyphen it is written awarded a grade 8 merit certificate from Trinity College. It is in guitar?
Yes, sir. So classical guitar, which is Spanish guitar, sir. So in this particular music, formal music, there are particularly 8 grades. And once you clear grade 8, it means that you do have the certification to also perform. Apart from that, you have ATCL and LTCL. These are higher levels, where after that you can also teach music in schools.
So have you made a stage performance in classical guitar?
Sir, I have performed locally, sir, at my hometown.
So when you say Spanish guitar, what are the typical, what should I say, either a form of raga or form of a tune or something? What do you play in classical guitar?
So mostly these are compositions by various Western musicians, because the guitar was invented at least the form that we know of in 1817. This was in the Romantic era. So mostly, sir, and it originated in Spain itself. So mostly compositions by Francesco Terrega is quite popular, sir.
Okay.
In this particular.
And is there a difference in playing Spanish guitar and Hawaiian guitar?
Yes, sir. So the main difference between Spanish and Hawaiian guitar is that Hawaiian guitar has a slider and it can be played horizontally. Whereas if you look at Spanish guitar, it is played at a level of 45-degree angle where you play it on a raised platform and you have a 45-degree angle with the fretboard, sir.
So Spanish guitar and electric guitar, they are both held just the same way, 45 degrees to the ground or something. How do you differentiate between these two?
So Spanish guitar does not take the help of amplifiers and does not take the help of electronics.
Even in the modern age?
No, sir. So the Spanish guitar is particularly only for compositions. So it is very delicate, the sound that is produced. Secondly, sir, the strings of Spanish guitar is nylon, whereas if you look at the strings of electronic guitar, they are made of metal. Yes, sir. And thirdly, the music that is played. In Spanish, it is more melodious and classical compositions, whereas in electric, it is more known for rock and other aspects.
So what is the best melody that is your favorite?
So I would say there is this particular melody called Lagrima, which means a teardrop in Spanish, and it was composed by Francesco Terrega. So that is my favorite, sir.
If you are given IFS and you are asked to choose a language to learn, because every IFS officer is given a language, which language would you prefer and why?
So I would prefer the language French because it is one of the languages of the UN as well.
You know how many countries in the world speak French?
So about 55 countries, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Jayasree, what is the CICAC?
So this is a coaching institute that is run by the government of West Bengal, sir.
Okay. And what is the meaning of Darjeeling?
So Darjeeling means, sir, the land of the thunderbolt.
Land of thunderbolt.
Yes, sir.
So there are constant thunderbolts happening there.
Sir, because it is a hilly area and it is also known for lightning, sir. So that is one
It's
of
known for lightning.
Yes.
Okay. So lightning has some adverse effect, naturally.
Yes, sir.
So what do people do about it? How do they safeguard themselves?
So first of all, in terms of the building structure, sir, there are certain guidelines where after a certain floor, it should not be constructed, the particular houses.
After a certain
Floor, sir, I think after the 4th floor or something like that. I'm not exactly sure of the number.
You mean the
but
height?
there are guidelines, yes, sir.
So
with respect
guideline
to
will
the
not be number of floors. Guideline will be about the height.
height, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. What else?
Sir, I'd have to read more upon that, sir.
Yeah, have you heard of lightning conductor?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
I'm sorry, sir. I would have to properly.
It's a metal bar which goes up to the top of the house, slightly higher than the top also.
Yes, sir.
Why do they put it there? What is the idea?
So I believe it is to neutralize the effect of the ions that is created in the clouds, sir. But I'm not exactly.
Yeah, neutralize means basically it discharges the clouds.
Yes, sir.
It takes the charge down to the earth. But why to the earth?
Sir, because I believe it is not a conductor of electricity, sir.
Earth is not a conductor.
I'm sorry, sir. I'd have to learn more about that.
Okay, anyway. And who is this Robertson?
Sir, Robertson was a civil servant back in the day who served in the West Bengal region. Therefore, the street is named after him.
Okay, Jayasree, why do we need government?
So we need the government for various aspects. We need the government for regulation, for maintenance of law and order. We also need the government to impose certain rules in the country, sir.
Okay. So if I say in one sentence, the government is required ताकि सुकून हो. Okay, you understand the word sukoon? And if there is sukoon, then people like Jayasree will find their way out in life. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir. Especially in the context of minimum government and maximum governance. I believe that is in line with the sukoon aspect as well, sir.
Okay. So where all has the government touched Jayashree's life?
Sir, I feel that the very fact I'm giving this exam, it shows that, sir, the government has been very inclusive in its nature, in its approach, and has given me equal opportunity. So
Okay.
that is one most important aspect,
Okay,
sir.
what else?
Apart from that, sir, the fact that I am living in a particular place, sir. I'm living in Darjeeling, and I don't face any problems as such. Where if I have any issues with respect to the facilities that are provided to me, I can always complain to the municipality.
See, look at the life cycle of a human being born in India or Darjeeling to that matter. Where all does the government touch that person?
So from the birth itself, we have the birth registration. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And then after that, when it comes to schooling, so now we also have the right to education under Article 21A, and so which is a fundamental right now.
Okay,
So
okay.
apart from that, once you are done with schooling, then so there is also employment, and Article 16 provides equality in terms of employment,
So
particularly for
you did
women.
not
sir.
get any identity made?
So identity, yes, sir, as well. We have the Aadhaar card, we have our citizenship things as well.
Yeah, what else?
Sir, after our employment, sir, we also get a pension gratuity from the government.
Did you get a
Social
driving license
security.
made?
Yes, sir.
And how do you make your payments?
So through the banking system as well.
Every time you have to make payment, you go to bank.
No, sir. We have the digital payments now, the UPIs in particular, which is quite popular.
Yeah, so that has touched your life.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, good morning, Jayasree. How are you doing today?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you.
So, you want to join IFS as your first choice. Okay, and you're from the state of West Bengal.
Yes, sir.
Why is it called West Bengal? Do we have a East Bengal?
So, ma'am, this boils down to our history. When before the independence, ma'am, we were united with Bangladesh, and that was also known
But
as.
it is no longer there.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but because of the because of the history that we have and the attachment we have with the name, we have kept the West Bengal as
West
it is.
Bengal. Don't you think it should be changed? Because when you talk about, say, East, West, North, South, we expect the others also to be there.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in fact, a step was taken in this regard back in 2011, where the government did try to change the name to Paschim Banga as well as Bangla peoples, ma'am. So there were few other names that were proposed. It was passed in the state legislative assembly, but it was rejected by the center.
So recently we have heard in the news something about Vantara. What is Vantara?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'd have to read more upon that.
It was in the news. So anyway, I'll leave that question if you're not. But it's good to know about it. Again, did you read the newspapers today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So one of the news was NDA is in Rajya Sabha is 4 short of majority. What did it mean?
So, ma'am, I believe that the reason why it was there is because of the cross-voting aspect that had occurred in Rajya Sabha. So, there are contentions with the recent Rajya Sabha elections, and there have been claims that there were certain cross-voting that was done, which is why now NDA is short of majority in between.
That's not right. When we talk about 4 short of majority, we should think about what is the total strength of Rajya Sabha. What is it?
Ma'am, I think it is 250 members.
That's not right. So whatever is the strength right now, it has to be one more than the half.
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe they were talking about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you must have heard about budget.
Yes, ma'am.
India has a surplus budget, balanced budget, or a deficit budget?
Ma'am, currently I think we have a deficit budget.
What is the deficit this year?
Ma'am, I'm not exactly sure of the exact amount, ma'am.
Okay. Are you aware of what is the difference between a money bill and an appropriation bill?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, a money bill is provided under Article 110 of the Constitution, which provides for various provisions such as we have tax, and we also have other aspects like revenue that is given under money bill, which is clearly defined under Article 110. When it comes to appropriation bill, those refer to those bills under which expenses are made out of the Consolidated Fund of India. That is the
you can
appropriation
withdraw the
bill.
money and
Yes,
you can make expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. You must have heard about GST.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of the number of slabs it has?
Ma'am, currently there are 5 slabs. Yes, ma'am.
They are?
Yes, ma'am. 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%.
Can you think of any 2 items which are in the 0% bracket?
Ma'am, I know that most of them would be public goods, but I'm not able to pinpoint the exact 2 items.
Okay. What about the 28%?
Ma'am, recently we had the tobacco as well. Sin goods, basically, tobacco aspects. And ma'am, I think gambling has also been charged 28% now.
Okay, you can check on that. I think that is my last question to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Jayasree, law.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was just thinking that in the Uttarakhand's UCC, there is a compulsory registration provision for living. Don't you think it will go against the fundamental right of privacy?
So I believe that the compulsory registration within 1 month is certainly problematic in certain ways. For instance, after the 1 month registration, there's also this provision of 3 months imprisonment and 10,000 rupees fine if it is not there. But having said that, sir, I think that this registration is also provided in order to accord protection to these couples, especially in order to give them rights
Jayasree,
to
the
maintenance.
question was different. I asked regarding the fundamental right of privacy.
Yes, sir.
So is it against or is it okay with that?
So I think that it is all right, sir, because the government does need to protect the people as well. So there are reasonable restrictions on such rights as well, sir, ma'am.
Yeah, so the first is there are reasonable restrictions to everything. Okay, I will take that. As you were discussing the benefits of those registrations, so let's continue with that. What benefits you were talking about?
First of all, sir, the right of maintenance and
Okay.
the right of maintenance, and second of all, the children that are born out of live-in
Okay.
relations are now given accorded
So
protection.
they are already been given before even the implementation of UCC.
Yes, sir. So they were given by the Supreme Court,
Okay.
but now it is recognized
it's a-
under a law.
It's a
Yes,
statute
yes.
now. Okay, yeah, okay. I will take that. Now, you were the deputy speaker. Can you tell me the role of deputy speaker in Lok Sabha?
So the deputy speaker by convention comes from the opposition party, and the deputy speaker takes charge of the house when the speaker is not present, when the speaker is not present in the house, sir.
Anything else?
So I think that is the most important.
What about the representation of the opposition?
Yes, sir, representation of the
Yes,
opposition.
that's also. So you have, I think, managed a parliament. Okay, when we see our parliament, we find a lot of shortcomings. So you have an experience of parliament. What would you recommend for improving our functionality of our parliament?
So the first aspect would be to provide a forum for the opposition members to speak also.
Okay.
For instance, in
You
the
could have
UK, we
started
have the
with the
opposition day.
deputy speaker point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The deputy speaker,
Yeah.
and also the one of the aspects is the UK has this opposition day where the opposition gets time to present its grievances. That is one. Second, we need to strengthen our parliamentary committees, because currently, if you look at the 16th Lok Sabha, only about 16% of total bills were provided to public
Okay.
scrutiny
Taken.
under pub. Ma'am, sir, so those are the two most
What
important
about the
aspects.
functioning? What about the risks that happens in the parliament? Because what other parliaments I have seen that of law colleges too, they are very disciplined. Did you notice that?
Yes, sir.
So when someone is speaking, the other person will not interrupt.
Yes, sir.
That part needs to be proved. So my last question to you, what you have learned from the parliament? Because you have followed the functioning of parliament, but of this?
Yes, sir. So what I've learned from the parliament is the ability to speak and voice one's opinions and to represent other people's opinions as well in a very objective manner. And the second aspect is to present it in a way that is not impinging upon the rights of other people. So to maintain a certain level of discipline when you're speaking, so that you do not impose, you do not affect public order.
Okay, Jayasree. Thank you.
Thank
Over
you,
to you, sir.
The formal part of your interview is over. When is your interview?
So it is on 14th March.
14th March. And how many mocks have you attended so far?
So about 4.
About 4.
Yes.
So tell us, in your assessment, how was your interview?
So I think it could have gone better. I think certain questions where I was a bit shaky.
What could you have improved?
So the knowledge factor, certain questions that I was not aware of. That is one.
See, the interview is not a test of your knowledge. Interview is test of what you, how you present what you know, right?
Yes, sir.
So even if you don't know anything, you can simply say, sorry, I have to read more about that. Now, one small thing, your demeanor is okay, your presentations, arguments, articulations are okay. One thing you have to do is you should try to look at all the members. Not like in mechanical manner, but 70% of the time to the member who has posed a question and rest to others. And keep your self-confidence and a smile on, because that is one of the biggest asset that you have. What newspapers are you reading?
Sir, I'm reading the Hindu and the Indian Express.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Try to catch up with some economic or financial news, the Economic Times or Financial Express or something like that. And of course, you might be knowing Cut the Clutter by Shekhar Gupta and Palki Sharma's and betterindia.com. Keep on watching those, because they give you, in nutshell, they give you the analysis of the happenings of during the day. Rest is fine. I don't think I have to add anything. Gulati Saab, please.
Somehow I recall I have seen you again.
Sir, I came here, this was my first mock, sir. And before my final, I wanted to come here again.
Ah, okay. No, I must compliment you. You have turned out very well. You are wearing a beautiful outfit, I must say.
Thank you,
What
sir.
is it?
Sir, this is I just ordered it online, sir.
Because I don't see a border, and I wanted to ask you, is there any particular significance of this sari or something like that?
Sir, not particularly, sir, because
All right, okay. But it's good, and I feel that you are prepared for the interview. Just keep on working on current affairs, and as suggested by the chairman, keep yourself abreast with your DAF-related current affairs.
Yes,
sir. Whatever keyword is there in the DAF, that I had told you last time
Yes, sir.
also. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
There's a website, viksit-bharat-sankalp.gov.in. Go there and see all the flagship schemes, the eligibility to be a member of those schemes, and what all has been achieved so far under those schemes.
Yes, sir.
You are an excellent candidate, and if your return has gone well, most likely you'll be there.
All right?
Just say, I would like to learn more about it.
Yeah, which you did. Just say it confidently and don't worry about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Sir, how was my voice level today, sir? Because
I think the chairman
Yes, sir.
mentioned that you should speak
louder.
higher, and I noticed that made you raise your voice.
Yes, because you might be sitting a little farther
yes, sir.
than the
So-
board members in actual interview.
Yes, sir.
So, and most of the board members, all of the board members will be retired persons.
Yeah.
And maybe with some hearing losses, hearing problems.
Yes, sir.
So your natural tendency to speak low, keep that in mind and speak little louder.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Smile. You got great
Yes,
smile.
sir. Thank you.
All
sir.
right.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.